All right, good afternoon, Basic Electronics. As a follow-up to our lesson today on calculating series circuits, you guys got a PDF version of this worksheet. And what I want to do, in case you are struggling or not quite sure how to go about this, is just kind of show you how to do the first one as a little bit of an example. The first thing I would do, if you don't have it nearby, is get that Ohm's Law triangle that we were talking about. You guys are obviously doing this on the computer, but have that sheet handy or that nearby just so you have that as a reference. So let's take a look at this first circuit. We've got four things we got to find, and they've given us three. First thing we know is that we have 50 volts in this battery here, and they tell us that R1 is a 50 ohm resistor and that R2 is a 150 ohm resistor. And the first thing they want to know is what is RT. So we learned today that RT is resistance total. It's just the sum of the resistors. So 50 and 100 or 150, 50 and 150 is going to be 200 ohms. So that's our first answer. Now they want I. Well, if we come up here and we put our finger over I, we know that it's V divided by R. So I equals V divided by R. V is going to be 50 ohms divided by 200. And if we do that math, that's 0.25 amps. So that's our answer for I. 0.25 amps, or if you want to be an overachiever, it's 250 milliamps. Either answer is acceptable. The last thing we need to find is our voltage drops. That's the voltage that's flowing through this resistor and the voltage that's flowing through this resistor, and we know that it has to add up to 50 in the end. So we're solving for V. That's the first letter that's given here. So V, if we cover V, is just I times R. Well, we found I, and these are our R's for each one. So this one is going to be 0.25 times 50, which is 12.5 volts. We solve that, 12.5 volts. And this one's going to be 0.25 times 150, which is 37.5 volts. 37.5 volts. If we take these two and add them together, we've got 50 volts, which is Kirchhoff's law that we talked about, matches over there. We've just solved the first one. And that process pretty much applies to the rest of them. So hopefully that helps you out if you were a little bit lost.